Today I'm going to tell you about the time that I briefly dated a pothead who was also a tattoo artist. Tattoo artist. So, I just want to start by saying that sorry beforehand because you're probably going to have a shit ton of noise again in the background, as usual. So, yeah. And this thing is my microphone. Just thought you'd want to know that, but yeah. So I met this guy who, let me think a name for him, but I met this guy um, through my cousin who was friends with him. So I don't know. I never understood how they knew each other. I guess they were together in high school or something. He was a couple years older than I was. That I am. that I am. Um, back and I guess I am not sure this occurred in 2021 or 2022. I was not as tattooed as I am today, clearly. So I really wanted to get this fuck ass centipede done. So I told my cousin because I saw that he got a tattoo done by this guy and I thought that it was cool. So I was like, oh my god, maybe this guy can do that for me. And he was like, yeah, I'll tell him and I'll tell you what he says. So the days go by and then my cousin tells me. So I talked to the guy and he told me that he'd do that. This is his number, just talk to him. And I was like, okay. So I talked to him and he was like, yeah, sure, I can do that for you. And we arranged the appointment. And yeah, so I didn't I didn't know this guy, but I saw him through social media, well, through Instagram, and I thought that he was nice. I thought that he was cute and interesting, and oh my god, so cool because he was a skater and he was a tattoo artist, and I fuck with those things. So yeah. So I went to the appointment. I went with my best friend. Well, with my best friend at the time. Um, and so we were together and we were talking, and one of the big first red flags that were shown pretty early on were that, well, this guy was what the fuck is that? Well, this guy was tattooing me. He started smoking wax, the drug. um it's not like it's a hard drug or anything. It's just I would think that maybe you need to be in your senses when you're tattooing someone, but whatever. To each their own, I guess. And me and my friend, we were like, okay, we thought that it was a little weird, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like the guy a lot. I was like, oh my god, he's so interesting, and he has so many cool things in his room, and he does tattoos, and he's a skater, and oh my goodness, and yada yada. So I did get a crush on him, which was stupid because the guy was fucking weird, in a bad way. You could tell. Um, so that day he was not able to finish the tattoo on time. Um, well, no, he would have, but we had to leave early because I was with my friend at the time. So my friend had to leave a certain time, like 7 p.m., and it was already 7 p.m., and I didn't want him to go by himself. So I just said to the guy that I liked that I would leave, and maybe I was like, is it okay if I just come back later? And he was like, actually, you can come back tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool, so I'll come back tomorrow. And I left with my friend and we were talking. I was like, oh my god, this guy is actually kind of cute. And I was like, um yeah, I think so, I mean, if you say so. And but he was like, did you I don't know if you noticed, but he was like kind of looking at you like. And I was like, no, I didn't notice that. Oh my god, do you think yeah, he likes me? And we went on like that for like the whole night. And then I had to go back on my own the next day at like 8 a.m. because my friend couldn't go. So we were alone. And no, this guy didn't do anything like creepy. I just thought it was weird. So he started tattooing me again to finish the thing, and he would compliment me way more openly than the day before, because I guess he was embarrassed to do that if there was someone else in the room. So since we were only both of us, it was only the both of us in the room, he started occasionally saying things like, oh my god, you're so cute, I love your name, I love your eyes are so cute, your hair is so cool, and this tattoo is gonna look so good on you. And I was like, you know, but I was like, is this guy like hating on me, or am I just, you know, being silly and thinking he likes me, but actually he's just being nice, you know what I mean? So I was not sure if he liked me, but looking back, I think it was pretty obvious. But here's the thing: when I met the guy, my cousin told me, oh, this guy just finished like a 3 year a relationship of 3 years, but he's like still talking to his ex. Just thought you wanted to know that. And I was like, okay, good to know. So I understood that they had already broken up. That's why I was fine with talking to the guy. So fast forward for a couple months later, I had the guy's number and we had each other on Instagram, but he rarely ever talked to me, like ever. Like he didn't talk to me like at all. I would send him things and he didn't reply. Not because I think that I mean I don't know what to say. I'm trying to find an excuse for that, but there's no excuse. Because I don't think he was busy. Busy doing what? Doing drugs? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? So he ended up texting me one day and he said like, oh, do you want to hang out? We could go smoke some pot. And I was like, during this time, I had never done any sort of drugs or marijuana or anything. So I was like, I've never done that, but sure, why not? I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. I told him, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it, but we can just hang out, Why do we have to go specifically out just to do drugs? We can just hang out, but okay. So we did go out, and another red flag, the guy showed up late. We were supposed to go to a park, and he showed up late. We were supposed to go smoke weed, and he showed up late because he was smoking weed with friends. So he knew that he was going to smoke weed with me, and he still started smoking weed with his friends, and he was late for that. So I thought that was crazy. Okay. It's like when you know that you're going to go have lunch or something and you eat before you go out anyways. That's weird. Why would you do that? But okay. So the guy showed up late and he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was buying more things for, to do the joint, because I ran out of it because I was smoking weed with my friends. And I was like, okay. So we went to the park, and so far it was okay. I mean, the guy was cool. At the time, I thought I was so head over heels for this guy, and I just thought that everything he said was so cool and so interesting, and oh my god, he's so, but looking back, this guy was nuts. So he was, we were talking, and then he just pulled his little drug bag out of his bag. You know what I mean? He started smoking and I didn't, because I was scared. It was like in the middle of a park that I had never been in before, and it was like 7 p.m. and it was fucking dark, and I was like, I'm not going to get high here. Like, it's not a good idea. And we have to go back to take the bus. by feet, so we had to walk, and I was like, that's just not a good idea, so I just didn't smoke. um so like I said, the guy did, so he got high, and you could tell that he was like already high before we even met, and he got even higher, even more fucked up. So I remember I was talking to him, and he was like, he was not even there. It was crazy. And then he started like complimenting me, saying like again, "Oh my god, you're so cute," and yada yada. But I was like kind of hesitant because I remember that my cousin said, that they broke up, but they are kind of still talking. They may like maybe meet each other. I'm not even sure if they're actually broken up. I don't know if they're just taking some time. I didn't ask because I was fucking embarrassed. But I saw that the guy was like, I at this point I could really tell that he liked me. So I asked like, hey, so I heard that you broke up with your girlfriend. Is that like actually true, or are you guys like still together? And then he went like, well, yeah, it was a long relationship, but we broke up, and we don't talk anymore, so it's fine. And then a while after that, I don't remember if it was before or after, but I'm guessing it was before. I'm not sure though. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but he when we were about to leave, he told me, he was, oh my god, he was so greened out at this point, and he was so fucking high, and he looked at me like this, and he said, "Can I give you a kiss?" And I was like, "Huh?" I deadass said, "Huh?" Because I couldn't believe my ears, and yeah, he went like, "Yeah, can I give you a kiss?" And I was like, "Sure, go for it, I guess." So he did, and I was on the outside. I was like, "That's cool," but in the inside, I was like, you know, stupid reaction. Well, that's how you would react, but in my opinion, that was just stupid because this guy was a fucking weirdo. And I mean, not a weirdo. He was just weird. I don't know. Is there a difference between being just weird and being a weirdo? Whatever. Um, so yeah, we went back to our homes, and I thought that, oh my god, he kissed me. Maybe he does really like me. Maybe we can keep talking more often now. But no, he didn't text me back. Like, he just texted me he just said that, like, text me when you get home. And I texted him when I got home, and he was like, okay, cool, I had a good time. Good night. Talk to you later. And I was like, okay, we can talk later. Um, so a couple of weeks passed, and he didn't talk to me, and um, then I don't remember. It was, I guess it was through WhatsApp. He'd send me a message saying like, "Hey," because I was trying to learn to tattoo. So he was like, "Hey, I have this thing that I want to try, and maybe you can help me so you can see how maybe you can get some experience with tattooing." So I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that." And I went to his place, and so I went after high school because it was during my last year of high school. So I went there after my classes, and he had his little table ready and all the shit ready, and he was like, okay, and then he started doing the thing with with the tattoo, and then we decided to rest, and then this is embarrassing to tell, but we he kissed. I mean, he leaned over me and he kissed me, and I was like, and he was like, "I really like you," and I was like, "So it was true, you like me." And I noticed that the first time that I went there, he had like a picture with his girlfriend or his ex. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm just gonna say with his girlfriend. He had a picture with her. But the time I went back, it was not there anymore. I wanted to assume that it was because they had broken up, but now thinking, looking back, it was maybe he just hid it so he wouldn't feel guilty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because he clearly had the intention to kiss me, and we ended up making out, but nothing more happened. Because I was like, I like you, but I don't trust you, so I'm not going to, um, you know, do that with you. Not now. And it was really funny because he started insisting on if we could do it, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't really feel like it right now. I mean, I barely know you. We've hung out like 3 times at this point. I think it's a little too soon. And also, I was like, I'm not into casual things. If we're going to fuck, I want it to be because we're in a relationship, not because just because, you know what I mean? So he kept insisting, like, oh my god, please, please, please. I'm not kidding. He was begging me, and I was like, dude, no, I don't want to. Like, I like you, I do like you, but I'm just not wanting. I'm not trying to do that right now, because again, I don't trust you enough. And he was like, when he understood that he was not getting it that day, he just like sat in silence for a second, and then he like leaned, he sat on the bed, and he was like all serious, and now suddenly he wasn't so chatty, he wasn't talking as much. Then he immediately went on his phone, and then he went to his computer, and I was like sitting on the bed like, okay. And then he went back to me and sat by my side, and he was like, I'm gonna call an Uber now for you, okay? And I was like, okay. So you're kicking me out because I didn't agree to have sex with you? Sure, no problem. And I was like, yeah, sure, you can do that, and I'll leave. And the previous times that we hung out, he would like at least kiss me on the cheek or give me a hug when we were about to leave. But that day, oh my goodness, I'm not exaggerating. We went out, and he just opened the door for me, and he was just like, okay, bye. And he didn't hug me or kiss me or anything, and I just got into the Uber, and that's it. He didn't even stay outside to see. Normally, well, I personally stay outside to make sure everything is fine, and I stay there until the person leaves. He just I got outside, and he closed the door like immediately, and I was like, oh damn, okay, whatever. And then I went to my house, and I was like, yeah, at the moment I wasn't like, this guy is a fucking asshole. I was like, oh my god, I'm so in love with this guy, so fucking idiot. I know. And so after that, I tried to hang out with him. I just was like, I was starting to get in my senses and be like, this guy's a fucking asshole. And maybe I shouldn't talk to him, because what the fuck was that? Why did he kick me out of his house just because I didn't want to do that with him? So also my friend of the time, who that friend that went with me to the tattoo appointment initially, he was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. So he was like, yeah, you should probably just don't talk to him anymore. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try one more time to give him a chance and to hang out and see how that goes. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, do you want to do something this weekend, or whatever? And he was like, I'm so busy, like I'm not gonna be able to make it, maybe another time. Again, busy doing what? Drugs? I swear, oh my goodness, this guy was, I can assure you that this guy was high 90% of the time, and the rest he wasn't high because he was sleeping, but he was doing drugs all the time. So I was like, you know what, fuck this guy, and I just stopped talking. I was like, you know what, okay, that's fine. I didn't say anything to him, and I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna stop talking to you. I didn't say anything. I just unfollowed him. I deleted the chat that we had. I deleted his number, and then I realized that he went back to his girlfriend. I don't know. I never knew if they were like together while he was talking to me, because my cousin knew as much as I did, and I mean, I trusted what the guy said, and I don't know. I at the time I was embarrassed to confirm it with his girlfriend, because I feel like that would make matters worse. Um, I don't know. I think I should have. I should have asked, but I didn't. But well, too late now. I would if I went through that again. I think I would ask the girl just to make sure. Like, hey, are you guys actually broken up, or are you like together? Because he's hitting on me, and I don't want to like become a side piece or anything like that. But yeah, it's funny because a couple years later, the guy just randomly texted me on a fucking Tuesday afternoon out of the blue saying like, "Hey, do you want to come to my house and smoke pot?" Dude, I haven't talked to you in years. What makes you think I would go to your house just to smoke pot, especially after you treating me like what? I want to understand the thought process behind that decision. What inspired this guy? What demon possessed him? I know what demon, probably the horny demon, because no way, no way. So yeah, that's how I briefly dated a pothead, and that's how it went. And yeah, you bet your ass I'm getting that tattoo covered. I am getting it covered soon. I don't know where, but I'll get it covered. And yeah, it was weird because again, a couple months had passed and we hadn't talked like at all. And then I uploaded a story. It's just a picture of me, and you could see the tattoo. And he replied saying, "Oh, that looks so good on you. I wonder who did that." Okay, weird. What the fuck? So yeah, that's how that went, and that's about it. See ya.